Politics is wild. Pop culture unhinged. The news is absolutely flabbergasting. I'm Dina Nina, and I'm here to chat about it all. What you need to know, how it impacts you, and why, just why, you should really care about it all. This is the Dina Nina Show. Hi, everyone. I'm Dina Nina. Very excited to be back here on the Dina Nina Show, ready to bring you a whole new season, episode, whatever this incarnation is going to be. I am very excited. I have an incredible guest. She's become a friend, and I am so honored to know her. And we are going to welcome Dr. Kristin Lyerly.
Hi. Hey, girl. How are you?
Hey. You know, living this dream.
Yeah. Okay, can we set some ground rules? I want to swear, and I feel very spicy today. Are those things that we can do?
Here for it.
Let's fucking go. I have so much energy, and it is directed in this very positive, like everything feels so heavy in the world because we have felt hopeless for so long. But like we were saying before the show started, it feels like there is a pathway to hope now, and I'm on it, and I feel so good.
I'm so happy to hear that. It's so refreshing because I feel like, especially when we're not around people, all we're doing seems to be consuming national news, kind of everything that's happening, and it's intense. But I will tell you, one of the things that I've been so grateful for is your Wisconsin political chat that you and Katie and
Pat Kreitlow and Dan Schaefer from the Recombobulation area. Oh, we have so much fun doing that. That just came together. We like literally just threw that together.
I love it. Like, especially pre-primary, like everybody was so anxious, and this gubernatorial race has been insane.
Mm-hmm.
And that night was a big night.
That night was a big night. And we ended up like we were live streaming the entire time. And then everything that was happening in Milwaukee with Central Count, where the thumb drive made it there, and then it was the wrong information, and the thumb drive went back, and we're like riffing and just trying to come up with something to say. It ended up kind of being like this group of friends all together. There were 600 people watching, and the chat was blowing up, and it was like midnight, but it felt like home. That's Wisconsin though, isn't it? Yeah. Wisconsin, over the past 15 years has been a dumpster fire because of what Scott Walker did, but we're not like that. We are a progressive state with a proud progressive history. We are the home of Earth Day and Gaylord Nelson and Fighting Bob LaFollette and all of these things that we've been able to do because Wisconsinites come together to solve problems. So we are on the verge of getting our Wisconsin back, and that's what inspires me.
Absolutely. It's so exciting. So I'll be honest, the candidates were great. But a lot of us feel a lot of disappointment around what happened on that night. I mean, I had other things going on that night, but
yes, you did. Can we just get a shout out for you and how amazing you are and how historic your win is, what this means for our beautiful state? I'm just so honored to know you.
Thank you. Ditto. Very excited. Just for those who don't know, I won the primary for a race for assembly in District 76 here in Madison. So, and
winning the primary, do you have a general opponent? Is there even a Republican?
I do have
running?
A general opponent.
Oh, how bold!
How bold!
That's nice.
I mean,
there should be. We should have competition in all of our races. I think that's what a healthy democracy looks like.
And it would be great if she would give me some competition.
There's an invitation, a standing invitation.
That was so sassy. No, I'm honored, but that night was mixed for me, like knowing Francesca Hung really well, and considering her a friend as well, and being able to watch the grace with which she ran that campaign and wrapped up the campaign was a beautiful moment and heartbreaking for so many. So I kind of want to talk about that. We've got a level of disappointment, especially for more progressive politician or progressive people in the state. And it's hard for a lot of people to put that down and think about how we get Crowley elected. What is your advice to people who are feeling a lot of hurt by the way this all panned out?
Yeah, I get that. And first of all, kudos to Fran. Nobody thought she would do this. At the beginning, she was the wild card. That's what Dan Schaefer called her a year ago when he first talked with her about this. We were all just excited to see what she was doing. And I remember interviewing her in October, and the people who were already swarming around her, I called them the Hong Hive. She had so many volunteers. She was everywhere. She was inspiring people in ways that politicians haven't inspired people in ages. So her accomplishments far exceeded what anybody thought she would do. But yeah, now we are on the other side of the primary, and we saw her. She could have asked for a recount because that margin was so close, but she didn't. She chose instead to get on the unity team. And I texted her personally to say thank you. And her text back to me, which she probably sent to a million people, was all about unity and coming together and finding that common ground. So if that's what Fran is saying, that's what we need to do. And I firmly believe that. We have lots of candidates that have lots of different, we had 7 people running for governor, and they had lots of different plans and ideas and backgrounds and experience. But it comes down to this one. So if we are on the team that wants to win, we have to get behind Crowley. If we choose to sit this one out, we're literally handing our vote over to Tom Tiffany. And Tom Tiffany isn't just a Republican. This isn't like the Packers and the Bears, right? This isn't a competition between teams. Tom Tiffany is dangerous. Let's take data centers, for example. Tom Tiffany voted against regulating data centers. He was actually the deciding vote in Congress. He has voted with Donald Trump lockstep promoting data centers. So that's what his record says. But out of his mouth now, he suddenly is very anti-data center. This is a guy who hypocrisy should actually be his campaign slogan, because that is what he does. I mean, transparency in healthcare is another thing. What is transparency going to do for you if you can't even get in the door because you can't afford it or because your hospital closed? Like, this is all meaningless. So Tiffany is clearly not for the people. He's not for us. And we need every single person to recognize how bad he is and get in line and vote for David Crowley. Oh, you're muted.
Of course I am. I said 1,000%. And let's be very clear. If you want Trumpism in Wisconsin, then you vote for Tiffany. If you want to hold that at bay at every cost, then vote for Crowley. This is sadly a binary decision. And it's either, do you want to make sure that working people and the people of Wisconsin actually have a chance to get ahead, the ability to take care of themselves a little bit better and protect our democracy here in Wisconsin, then you have to vote for Crowley.
And voting for Crowley doesn't mean that you're turning your back on Fran,
right,
or the things that she stood for. It means that we get across the line and win in November, and then you can dig in on the issues that you care about, whether it's data centers or healthcare or whatever. There are a million problems, affordability, you name it. There are so many things happening that are hurting us. That's when you can get involved. You find your people, you find your organizations, you find a way to do it. But checking out is not an option right now. We've got to focus and lock in.
And I want people to know, especially like my sister is a non-voter, like everybody who's a non-voter who just might be listening to this. I want to encourage you to actually consider voting and getting out, because we have to look at the amount of energy that our federal government is putting towards limiting votes. Just last week, the Supreme Court, the whole executive order with Trump saying, you know, we want to regulate how we do mail-in voting. You have to be approved, which means that only the right people can vote. Do you think a trans person's ballot is going to get just sent on through? Do you think somebody who has a Latino sounding last name or African sounding last name are going to have their vote just pass through. If they're able to do that, that will be detrimental to our ability to continue to enjoy democracy at all.
Yeah, and that's
even
just
in this
one.
small form.
That's one
Yeah.
of many hits. I mean, the SAVE Act has gotten so much attention over the last few months. That's another one where you would have to literally have a passport in order to be able to vote. So they know that voting is what the people do, and it's how we preserve our
Yeah.
democracy, and they don't want the democracy. They want to control it all. But I want to be very, very clear about what happened with the Supreme Court. It does not prevent us from voting right now. Still make your plan to vote, register to vote, order your absentee ballot, whatever you typically do to vote, that is all still happening. Do not be afraid. These things are happening in the background, and we will keep you posted. But we've got, 68 days? Ballots are going to start to go out pretty soon. So, like I said, lock in, make your plan, and 100%, Dina Nina, we all have to vote. Isn't it crazy that your own sister didn't vote? One of my boys didn't vote in the primary. At the end of the day, I asked, how did it go? When did you vote? And he was like, oh, is today the day? Like, what?
Yeah.
Do you not live with me?
Where is your head? Get it out of your ass.
We've been talking about this for months. We've ordered his absentee ballot, so he won't miss it.
I love it. Good. And if you have concerns about mail-in, drop it off in a box. Drop it off at your early voting place so that you can feel more comfortable in your ability to vote. First of all, so grateful for you. You ran for a couple of years ago for Congress, and you came onto my radar back then, and I was just like, oh my God, I love her. I loved how unapologetic about reproductive care you are. Obviously, as a OBGYN, that's at the top of your mind, and abortion rights are still under attack from our federal government. Tell us what all of us can do who care about our own bodily autonomy right now to start protecting and girding the guardrails around removal of access.
It's really the simple. Vote for Democrats. And I hate making it political because I don't want our healthcare to be political. But if you believe in reproductive rights, if you believe that you should be the person making your decisions for your body, if you believe that abortion should be safe and accessible, if you believe in gender affirming care, those are all things that Democrats own. Republicans are firmly embedded on the other side of that. And the line couldn't be clearer. These are the things that they are campaigning on. We've got a doctor up here in Northeast Wisconsin who's running in a heavy Republican district. He's a retired doctor. One of the top 3 issues that he's running on is anti-trans culture war garbage. Like, really? Is that the biggest thing that we have to worry about in Wisconsin? Because I think that affordability, healthcare, so many other things are on Wisconsinites' minds. And you're a doctor. Like, you should know better. It's shocking to me how they are so far removed from what average Wisconsinites actually care about. So, I mean, truly, it does come down to, it's as simple as vote for Democrats, and vote for Democrats all the way down the ballot, not just for the governor, but literally all the way down to your assembly person, your Senate person, if you've got one. That's critical, because what tends to happen is people drop off because they are not familiar. If there is a D next to that person's name, vote for it. And if there are 2 Ds, a D and a D for Dina Nina, vote for it for sure.
Dead. It's absolutely that. And, we'll have a few Ds that are Dems that are a little contrarian on transgender issues, especially more local, granular levels. I'd say I would like to encourage everybody to start talking to a trans person. If you're somebody who has questions or concerns about, sports bans, which seems to be a big thing when there are only like a handful of trans people playing sports in schools here in Wisconsin. Like,
right.
Maybe not even a full handful.
Yeah. When people can't afford gas to get to the grocery store,
right,
or
right.
Okay.
And that's what they've been focusing on. That's why I've been in those rooms for the last 3 years, 4 years, like at hearings, watching our lawmakers demean and degrade children who are just trying to be themselves. Talk to people, find out more. We look at Larry, like, I don't know if you remember this last a spring ago, I think, maybe.
Yes.
Like,
Larry who testified?
Larry,
yes.
yeah. He spent the whole day with us. I was there for part of the day. I didn't get to spend the whole day. He's from northern Wisconsin. Came there to support that anti-trans bill and turned around after meeting us and talking to us and being in community with us all day, saying, I made a mistake.
It was so cool because he went up to testify like in support of an anti-trans bill and started to talk and said, this is what I'm here for. But actually,
maybe I changed my mind.
So great.
I had to leave. I had meetings, and then I picked it up on Wisconsin Eye and started watching it and just bawled. So,
but you're totally right.
Us.
Well, and can I just share a really embarrassing story that I'm so I'm so ashamed of, but I think it's important. When I was living in Madison in my early 20s, I didn't have a lot of exposure to trans people. This was back in the 90s, so I didn't know. And I remember seeing somebody working like at the mall in the shoe department and thinking, why is that person here? How did they get this job? And I was so like uncomfortable. And I've thought about that a lot. And luckily later in life, I had some friends who had a daughter who grew up to become a son. His name is Lucas, and I got to watch him as an infant. I knew him as an infant, and I watched his evolution, and I got to be there when he changed his name and when he told his parents, and I'm still in touch with him as a 20-year-old man. And just knowing that and seeing that, I couldn't be more in the camp of people who have life experiences like that because I've personally seen it. So representation is everything, which is why you being in the assembly is so critically important, because your voice and your ability to tell your story and so many other stories, it helps people understand.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Couldn't be a greater honor. And, I'm terrified at the same time.
Have you seen some of those jokers in the assembly? Are you kidding me, Shay Sortwell?
I mean,
come on,
fair.
You're gonna be great.
Thank you.
He's my assembly person. I'm embarrassed. It's not good.
I love it. Yay. So tell us about what's happening in your neck of Wisconsin and what races we need to be paying attention to, and how you feel the general rank and file are feeling up there.
So I'm in Northeast Wisconsin. We are the third largest population center in the state, and we were profoundly affected by the gerrymandering. So a couple years ago, before the maps changed, we only had, in all of Northeast Wisconsin, 2 Democrats representing us up here. One in the heart of Green Bay, one in the heart of Appleton. Everything else was owned by the Republicans. And you know that it's not that red up here. But in Green Bay, there were 3 state Senate seats, and those senators all lived within 5 miles of each other. And their districts just looped out because of the way that they had drawn the maps. So we had no political power, and people were afraid to even talk about being a Democrat or talk about democratic values. With the new maps, we now have 5 representatives. And by the way, 4 of them are members of the LGBTQ community here in Northeast Wisconsin, which is amazing. I think by the end of this cycle in November, we could have as many as 10 Democrats up here. And that is a huge change from where we were just a few years ago. And with that comes that political gravity where it's no longer just Madison and Milwaukee. You have to look at Outagamie, Brown, Door, Winnebago counties. That's where we saw it in the primary. That's where we see the action. That's where we see things are really shifting. And that's where I am. So yes, there are some really incredible races up here. Brandy Tollefson is taking on Ben Franklin. Yes, his real name is Ben Franklin in the 88th. And Brandy is somebody who came swooping in and saved our school board in De Pere when Moms for Liberty were trying to take it over, had taken it over. Brandy is so tough and so fearless that she's going to be she's the race that will tip the balance in the assembly by the math numbers. So Brandy is fantastic. We've got Renee Peplum running up in the Door County, Kewaunee County area. We've seen Door going harder and harder to the right with every election. This is Renee's second attempt at Assembly District 1. She's up against Joel Kitchens. He's the veterinarian who said, I'm a veterinarian, so I know more about reproductive health care than anybody else here in the assembly, and I can tell you that abortion is wrong. So that guy, and I like Joel as a person, he's just not the right guy to represent us. So we're going to get Renee elected. We've got Mark Becker running as an independent in Senate District 1, that's Renee's seat as part of that. There are just so many exciting things happening. I have to also mention Emily Cephos, who's running in a really tough Senate district, but she's out there knocking the doors, having the conversations, doing the grassroots work. If you are looking for a place to pitch in where you can make a difference, come to Northeast Wisconsin. Message me. I'll hook you up.
Totally. And they can find you at?
At Dr. Kristin Lyerly on all the socials.
I love it. I'm going to switch out this barcode up here. If you are interested in subscribing to the Dr. Kristin Lyerly show, you can do so with that little QR code right up there. We also have to talk about the fact that Brown County now has an openly transgender county supervisor.
Yes.
Rachel Mays, who I've been honored to know for several years. So you're making inroads. We are making inroads in those more rural counties that have been red strongholds for so long.
Well, Brown County has a actually pretty deep tradition of supporting the LGBTQ community, but we don't think about it that way. And Rachel has been part of the mix. She's a Green Bay city attorney. She is a hometown girl. She is serious. She's committed. She has results. This was the third time she ran for public office. She didn't spend a bunch of money. She knocked doors. She made relationships, and people just believe in her. And that's why she won. She won for all the right reasons, all the things that people think are how our democracy is supposed to work. That's what made Rachel win. And she continues to do this really groundbreaking, very grassroots kind of work up here. I'm totally honored to know her.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
This is a tough environment. The hate that she took on. Yeah.
Yeah. I think about I'm in a progressive little bubble here in Madison, and I feel safe, and I get to move through the world pretty comfortably. And I can only imagine the hate that I get times whatever those in more rural areas and smaller towns and are getting. And it is wild. And so when people start thinking, is this really who we are as a society? Because I know that you get people saying things like that. Like, if this is the hate, is this who we are? Like, what would you say to those people who are inundated by that kind of perspective?
I kind of think we're over it. I mean, not completely, but I talk about abortion a lot, so I get a lot of hate too. And it's usually men, to be fair. And when I look at their profile, it's always kind of funny because they've got pictures of like puppies and I'm always like, what? But that hate, they are so loud and they feel so entitled because that is what this culture has given them. That's given them this voice where they think that they are in charge and their opinion is the one that matters and they should be speaking out. But I think everybody else is starting to recognize that they're just squeaky wheels. It's meaningless. And we really have to step up and fill that space. I used to try to push back, but what I've discovered now is my community pushes back. So when somebody says something ridiculous, a bunch of people will pile on and say, explain that a little bit more, or I think your perspective is a little skewed. And they'll actually, like in a respectful way, take these people on. And these people Fox News has taught them not to actually engage in a meaningful conversation, but rather just to say something negative that's pointed back at you. They can't have a conversation. They have kind of lost that talent. So if we can do that, if we can engage with each other and push the narrative forward and just kind of leave that garbage behind, we will actually move forward. Yeah. And I do think that people are starting to just push back on that hate. And maybe Twitter getting so crazy was what it helps us just ignore all of it, because it just has gotten so stupid.
I don't think that my people are as interested in looking to understand or
yes.
Which I'm kind of grateful for.
It depends. You get a lot of different things. Like a lot of people will respond with my text or to my Facebook posts or whatever and say, go red. And I'm like, really? We were talking about people not getting health care. Like, go red is all you got? But other people will say something that leaves an opening that offers an opportunity maybe to do some teaching or, there are places where we can engage on social media. It all just happened so fast, though. The transition did. And then our different generations have engaged with technology in different ways. When I talk to my kids, the way that they look at technology is so entirely different than how I look at it. So I learn a lot from just talking to other people and understanding how they perceive things and how they deal with it. I think Gen Z, because they grew up with this and because they have a different set of skills that is maybe better than what we have, they're going to cope and they're going to rock this. But we have to make sure that they have the resources to be able to rock it. And right now they're looking at the future and thinking, can't afford a car. There's not a good job out there for me. I'm never going to be able to have a house. Kids are totally out of the question. I can't even afford my education. The future looks so bleak to them. So we've got to change things. They need a higher minimum wage. They need to be able to buy a house. They certainly need to be able to afford an education. I mean, that's a step. That's a stepping stone to a better future. So we got a lot of work to do.
Got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Very excited to get that work done. I will tell you one of the things that I've really kind of enjoyed is trad momming the transphobes.
Oh. Tell me
so
more.
Like when they come in, you're going to hell. Oh, I'm so sorry you believe that. I love you, but I don't love the sin. Oh, honey, you love control. That's what you love. I'm so sorry that you have to go through that. And it breaks their brain, like coming in with so much like, oh, I'm so sorry that you have to go through that.
Yes.
Kind of makes them malfunction. And that's been really fun.
You go full bless your heart on them. Oh,
totally full bless your heart. The Southern comes out,
that's kind of like a Dolly Parton approach, though, isn't it? Like she never went ugly. She would always go like sweet and make you feel like, am I bad? Did I do the bad thing?
I'm not ashamed to go ugly.
Me too.
I've really enjoyed just trad momming them. And speaking of Dolly.
Yeah.
I told my friend, I was like, it feels like the last light in the world has gone out.
Yeah. I've always loved her. And then the more I knew about her, the more I loved her.
Yeah. So I'm much older than you. And I remember.
No, you're not.
So much older, but that's okay.
Oh my God. We're going to compare notes offline.
Okay, we will do that. I think my age is on Wikipedia. I spent so many years pursuing entertainment and hiding it. Now I'm like, I'm 56.
Are you 56?
Yeah.
I'm 56. We're the same age.
No, you're not. We're the same age and you look so much better than I do. How annoying. So the 70s. I do
Let's
too.
talk about the 70s. Oh, I'm locked in. Let's go.
So I grew up in Texas, and my parents had the albums, the vinyl LPs that, and three of them were Dolly records. And I just remember thinking, like listening to that record on days that it was still cool outside and the windows were open and my family weren't home, and I just listened to it and look at her and be like, I wish I could be that pretty. But I just remember that being feeling like a safe space. So Dolly has always been a part of that journey, and as somebody who's trans and queer, and she is the patron saint of queerness, I guess, when it comes down to it.
Without being like in your face. She just demonstrates it. And then even though she's so, I hate to say fake, but like the fake hair, the fake boobs, like so much about her is not her original parts, but she's the first person to tell you, oh, it's a wig. But she says it in such a cute, funny way that you just are like, of course you have a wig on. That's your privilege to do whatever you want with your body. So to me, I actually did a query last night, like, did Dolly Parton never say anything about abortion? And she never did. But everything that she said and did said to me, this is my body and I'm doing what I want with it. And you can't do anything about it, essentially, like in the cutest, sweetest, most accepting way.
And I think that is so true. And seeing somebody become the woman that they want to be as a, assigned male at birth person, like felt empowering, and like she was always in control of it. And in the way that, like, this is who I am. I love putting makeup on. I love putting big hair on. I love hiking my boobs. And, just like Dolly, like most of my equipment isn't natural either. So
she took
that sounded weirder. That sounded so much weirder than I meant.
Did you see what she said? That what her nephew, who was her head of security, made a statement, and apparently she said something about like resting in cotton because she's been wearing heavy rhinestones her whole life and she's ready for a little bit of a break. And I thought, yes, what an incredible metaphor that she's been carrying this weight in order to sparkle for us. And now it's her time to let that go for her.
She'll release the rhinestones into the skies and they will look upon us.
Yeah.
God, that was that cheesy and spiritual.
I want to wear some rhinestones today.
Girl, let's do it.
Yeah. Let's get some crowns.
I'll help you rhinestone a dress any day. Well, Kristin, it was always so lovely to talk to you, and I thank you so much for your time. Tell us how people can find you. I've got your I can't do it. Anyway, above your head is your social media handle, and you can follow the Dr. Kristin Lyerly show at the QR code. But where else can people contact you and find out more about what you're doing?
Oh yeah, I'm on Substack, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, like Twitter, Blue Sky. I'm on all the things. The cool thing though about the YouTube show is we have split it from now until the midterms because we wanted to do a Wisconsin politics track, but we also wanted to stay true to the rest of the show where we're talking about, books and the other culture-y kind of thing. So we're doing 2 episodes a week. It's a lot between now and November. But the Wisconsin politics piece is so important. We're highlighting some of these races that are really important that I mentioned earlier. Another one is Ben Brist. He's running against, what's his name? I can't think of it. In the Milwaukee area. I'll think of it. Bob Donovan. This is like the old school versus the new regime coming in. Ben is super smart, West Point graduate. He is like the package, and I can't wait to expand his audience and help people understand what a treasure he is and how much we need him in the assembly with you. So it's going to be show after show like that. If you are interested in Wisconsin politics, please follow along so that you know who these candidates are, so you can pitch in with dollars or support, share their stuff on your social media, whatever it is. Every little bit makes a difference. But the most important thing, like we talked about earlier, is vote. Register, make your plan, get out there.
And if you want to get involved in campaigns and help people out, doing doors, making calls, lit dropping, whatever you can do, most campaigns around the state are in need of help. So anything you can do just on a small level would be beneficial for all of us, because I want some good colleagues in the assembly, and I want a governor we can actually work with. So
I smell a blue trifecta brewing, baby.
Smell it.
Thank you
Kristin,
so much for having me.
Thank you. And we'll have you back soon.
Please, anytime.